Typically when I make a video, it is around practical step-by-step advice. This video and some of my other content, but most of my content is practical advice. This video is very much about mindset. And in this video, I want to talk about how being a website designer has radically changed my life. Now, I didn't set out to do this. I actually just kind of accidentally stumbled into it. But it has become one of the most important skills that I know. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the mindset around it, why it's important, and what it's taught me that I've actually taken into every area of my life. And let's just start with the end in mind. This has helped me learn how to launch a business basically overnight, or launch a product in less than 24 hours. And with that in mind, isn't it just an amazing tool that in just a few moments, if you know how to put a few things together in today's world of software and tools all around us that help us, if you know how to build something, isn't it incredible how quickly it can get out to the world? Naval Ravikant, which I'll quote later, but he calls this infinite leverage. Just the same way you post a video to YouTube, it can go anywhere in the world, anybody could watch it, same as a post on Instagram, same as a post on Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever it might be. In the same way, a website has that potential as well. And fundamentally, if you were just starting out, this is the key and the part that I don't really hear a lot of people talk about. You don't necessarily need to know what you want. You don't need to know what the business is. You don't need to know what you're gonna build specifically product-wise. But if you know how to design websites, it's gonna help you so much. And this is the core principle I want to share. Fundamentally, to create the life you want, it doesn't necessarily start with knowing what you want, but with a system that if you knew what you wanted, you can get it. So what do I mean? Let's think about it this way. Most people you talk to today, what would they say to you? How you doing? Oh, I'm busy. Everyone's busy. Busy, busy, busy. But busy with what? This is the fundamental difference. This is the fundamental difference that I hear all the time when I talk to people. I hear people say they're busy, but then I ask them, what are they busy doing? And this is where it really matters. I forget who said it. I think it was Peter Drucker, and I think he said something different, but basically something to the extent of this, which is, you are only effective if what you are busy about is the right thing. Another person said it like this: people spend a lot of time climbing up a ladder to get to the top just to find out it was against the wrong wall. So what should you be busy with? This is a key. Be busy with things that if you learn them and you get better at them and you grow in them and you spend more time with them, that they will 10x, 100x, or 1000x your results. Me pushing data around all day for a company, doing the same thing over and over again, is not going to 10x my results. But if I learn Excel formulas and databases and how they work, that can 10x my results. Me being a wizard for an advanced pharma company in their marketing world is cool, but if I learn how to market small businesses that are just launching, that will help me 10x, 100x, or 1000x my results. Learning how to just spend $100,000 a month for a multi-billion-dollar company, it gives you a lot of big knowledge, but it doesn't give you practical, how do you get started knowledge. It's one of the biggest criticisms I have about my business degree. I can't believe I even did it and finished it. When I graduated college, I realized that they trained me for middle management. They did not train me on how to become an entrepreneur, on how to start a business, or how to be a business person, someone who goes from 0 to 1, someone who creates ideas and brings them to life. That's what I'm passionate about. I'm not so passionate about middle management. And in this video, what I'm really getting at is the difference between putting your skills and being busy at things that don't have the ability to scale versus things that do. This same principle applies with reading. A lot of people say you should read so that you retain as much information as possible. And I think it's good to try to retain as much as you can, but the point of reading is not to retain all the information the world has to offer. It's to expose yourself to new information so that when you need to make a decision, you know where to go to find the right information. I carry all my books with me on my iPad, and so any information I need is in a moment there. If I pull out my phone, I can go into Notion, all my highlights live in there. And so I go through books quite quickly. And what I look for is actually not just retaining the information, but building a mental map of where I find information, key things and figures, and at the same time, what I look for is the things in a book that steal my attention without me even trying. Do you know when you're like listening to a book, or you're listening to, say, like a sermon, or you're listening to whatever it might be, a podcast, and it's just kind of going and going and going, and you're kind of listening, kind of not, but then they start talking about something, and then your attention is fully invested in the audio. That is what I'm talking about. That moment is so incredibly amazing. Look for those moments more than understanding and remembering everything that the dude said in the book or the gal said in the book. That's cool, that's great, but I am not here to take the author's guide on exactly what chapter and what chapter and what chapter means the most. For me, I'm looking for what means the most in my day-to-day. I could go on this point forever, so I'm going to stop here. The last thing I'll say is we don't do this with anything else. We don't do it with music. We don't do it with movies or TV shows. You don't stop watching TV because you didn't memorize what the stories were or the plot lines were or the life lessons were in the previous movie you watched. You go and you watch another movie the next day. So you might be asking, David, why are you even talking about this? This is not a tangent. This is important. Reading at this level is so important, or exposing yourself to knowledge in this way is so important to 10x, 100x, or 1000x your results, because let's say you've never started a side hustle before. Well, what I'd recommend doing is going and exposing yourself to 10, 20, or even 100 different types of side hustles out there. You don't want to become like a knowledge freak and know everything about all these side hustles and talk about them like you know what you're doing. You want to expose yourself to learn. There are opportunities everywhere. There are things everywhere that I can possibly turn into a side hustle. If I really like baking cookies, this could actually be a way to make money. If I really like designing stickers, this could actually be a way to make money. And by learning this, you're actually 10x, 100x, or 1000xing your results, because when you see something that is effortless for you and difficult for someone else, you have a business opportunity there. So obviously, stay humble. The smartest in the room are often the quietest. So don't come out here trying to express why you know all these different things about starting this type of side hustle and that type of side hustle and this type of side hustle if you've never done them before. But expose yourself so you even know that I could literally look at like how people sell these mics or the Apple Pencil or tips and tricks on the Apple Pencil that I could teach and make into a side hustle. There are opportunities everywhere. Now, let's go back to website design. When you design websites, and I am not promoting that everybody become a website designer, but look for things that 10x, 100x, or 1000x your results. But when you design websites, there's this really valuable thing that happens. Your skill set compounds on each other. Number one, you're learning as you do it, and you're learning as you get paid, which is amazing. But the second part of that that's so important is your efforts actually compound. The more you solve problems on websites, the better you get, the more problems you know how to solve, and that just keeps compounding on itself. Like I mentioned before, if I was just pushing data, the same data every single day through a company, that doesn't necessarily help or compound over time. In the same way, if I was bagging groceries at a grocery store, the effort does not compound over time. You want to find things that compound over time. And website design is one of those, because today, if I want to start a business, I can. If I want to start a product, I can. If I want to move into a whole new class of website design, I can. If I want to build an app or start the conversation around an app, I can. If I want to do software as a service, I can. There are so many things I could step into. I could start a marketing agency. I can start an SEO agency, which I have one. I can start a consulting agency because I have these skill sets. I could become a Notion expert. That's something I can do. There are so many opportunities that come up because I have this fundamental core website design experience, software experience at a very high level. I've spent tons of hours inside these tools, and understand how they work, how they build them, all of that. And just like that, I can learn something new in 3 to 6 months. I mean, this year I learned Webflow at a very high level in less than 3 months. And that was a process that I did on the side. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna stop on that. If you know how to build websites, you can launch basically anything. And I just listed off a bunch of ideas just now, but know that you can basically launch anything with very minimal risk. You're talking about maybe $50 worth of investment and a few hours of time. I remember back in high school when I first learned HTML. I was not interested at all. This was around 2017, so you can age me. It was around 2017 and I was a junior in high school. And that's around the time the first iPhone came out. And I was sitting there learning HTML. I wasn't so interested in it. I wasn't a big fan of it. I didn't fall in love with it right away. But in 2022 and beyond, code is a way of life. Just like reading, just like writing, it is going to be a basic understanding. Even just knowing how databases work and how forms and functions and different if this then that types of tricks and shortcuts and tools work will help you have a core fundamental start, same as reading and writing. And this is the magic. I mentioned it a bit before, but the moment you launch a website, the moment you use code, it literally works for you 24/7. Naval Ravikant said it best. Code and media are permissionless leverage. They're the leverage behind the newly rich. You can create software and media that works for you while you sleep. So this is my goal right now. Number one is 2 parts. Number one, I'm building a website that will help thousands of people each month. So our entire company, you can check out the link down below. It's there to help thousands of people each month. It's what I call my online real estate. Second is what I call the media house. For us right now, I know that all my content works for me, whether or not I am sitting in front of a camera or if I'm having lunch with a mentor, my content is working for me. So initially my goal was to make 100 pieces of content. I hit that goal in August of 2021. And now my goal is to hit 1,000 pieces of content in the next, I think it's about 3 years. So we publish 3 pieces of content a week. We're gonna get up to 5. Once we get up to 5, I think that's about a 4-year process actually, but we'll see because it might scale faster than I can imagine. And this is valuable because all the efforts I put into all of this compound on each other. They all provide 10x, 100x, or 1000x results. I have no idea what will hit. Maybe this video pops off. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe another video does. I have no idea, but it's not my job to control that. It's my job to put my best effort forward into the things that I know that I want to grow in, so that if the opportunity comes and I know what I want, or I know what skill set I want to give and how I want to serve people, I can do it immediately. I don't have to wait for someone else to give me permission, or I have to wait for my corporate job to get off at 5 p.m. so then I could work on it at 7. No, if there's something that I want to push towards, I'm building systems and a lifestyle around it so that if it comes up in the moment, I can move. Oh, that's so exciting. I absolutely love talking about this. You might hear it in my voice right now. Okay, so let me look at my notes. The last thing I just want to say, and to emphasize this, at the end of the day, 1 blog post, 1 video, 1 recorded conversation, 1 interview can be the thing that radically changes your life. Tim Ferriss said 1 blog post can radically change your life. And it's just important to remember that in today's world with infinite leverage because of the internet, plus if you could find skill sets that compound over time, you will position yourself in such a good spot. Friends, if you got value from today's video, hit the like button, drop a comment down below if you have questions, comments, whatever that might be. And with all that, if you want more content like this, you know the drill. Consider subscribing. With that, see you guys in the next video. Peace.